Well, hello strangers. Hello and welcome. It's been a long time since I made a video, apart from my Saturday lives. As you can see, I'm camping in my lounge. It's been a bit of a story since I've been here. You know, with the lockdown, the COVID, trying to get workmen to come has been a bit of a problem, you know. We've waited, the windows are supposed to be being replaced tomorrow, fingers crossed. The electrician is coming next week, fingers crossed, to put in some new wall sockets. Because it's an older house and like people here, it must have existed with about 2 sockets per room, which is no use if you've got the computer going, the TV going, various other things going, so that's no use anyway. I've no idea when my log fireman is coming, so hence we can't decorate. Hence I haven't got any of my Billy bookcases, my Kallax units, whatever. And I've not been decorated, and I've still got the same old carpet. My wardrobes are due, I think, the end of March, which means I'm still sleeping in the would-be dining room. Just follow my drift, you'll get there in the end. All of my stuff is in storage. I've been managing with just a box full of stuff, and I managed to find one of my lovely gypsy skirts, which I am wearing with my bobble underskirt. Which means for once I'm actually warm. I'm living with 2 hothouse creatures here who keep saying, "Oh, it's hot in here." And when my granddaughter comes, she goes, "Oh, how are you living in this lounge? It must be 90 degrees. No. I just looked at the thermometer out in the hall, it's 17 degrees. I never have my heating less than 20. So I will be so glad when I get the log fire and I can shut myself in here and be toasty warm below the rest of the family. Anyway, this is not what you've come to watch me for. Cheers. I have been occupying myself, although, as you know, I couldn't find anything. Anyway, a friend of mine who fosters babies, she sent me some baby yarn, and I have been busy. I'll show you what I've been busy doing. And I did find some oddballs that I'd brought with me. So I'll start off with the oddball situation. I just made these up because I've got no patterns, I've got no books, I've got nothing. All I've got is online, which is, yeah. So I made, I don't know whether you can see them or not, fingerless mittens. Maybe I should bring the tripod a little closer. I'm not used to being quite so far away from the tripod. Bear with me 1 second, and I shall go a bit closer. Whoa, sorry. Bring it just that little bit closer, and I'll feel happier showing you what I'm showing you. Right there, I made a pair of these. They're sort of my first attempt, so they're not brilliant, but I'm sure whoever they're intended for will like them. I'm only showing you one of each of these. They are pairs, I can assure you. And this is my own pattern. I made a pair in lemon. Made another pair in sort of a, I don't know what you would call it, like a turquoise or a sea green. Another pair. Nobody can see them. They're just in double knitting, and I did them on a 4mm, or if you're into figures, I think it's a G. I made a pair in pink. So I have been busy. Made another pair in a different shade of pink. These are for a friend of mine who I think has slightly larger hands than I do. So I made these in an oddment which turned out to be an Aran thickness So I made those. One more pair of fingerless gloves. They're in a gold colour. A gold colour. One more pair. As I said before, don't ask me for the pattern. I don't write things down. I just make them up as I go along and keep measuring them around my hand. I haven't got any patterns, so I can't tell you. Right, these are baby things. My friend sent me a pile of baby yarn. So I have been making some baby things. Sorry for the rustling. I'll put my mittens back in. I'm going to parcel them all up today because my daughter-in-law actually found me some pink postage bags, so I'll parcel them up later. Right, my friend Sylvia, I'm sure she won't mind me mentioning her name, sent me some yarn. Now this is a quicker knit, but I'm hoping it'll wash out because it was a bit yellowed on the outside of the ball. So it's kind of looking a bit white and a bit yellowy. This was a pattern that I bought from eBay. So I can show you that pattern, which is, I think, no, sadly, no, I got it on online, this one, but it actually did work out. I think I got this one online. Yes, I did. I got this one online, so I can't tell you what it is. It's just a little, she requested buttoned up. She fosters babies of all sizes, shapes, sexes, you know, whatever, so I just made it. This one was one that was from online, and it was a top down. And I don't knit on circular needles, as you know, because they drive me bonkers. And it came out really, really tiny. It was supposed to be a 20-inch. And I actually took about 6 rows off the sleeves. It was supposed to be made for a premature baby with orangutan arms, that's all I can say. The reason why there's threads up the front of each cardigan is because I haven't got my buttons, they're all in storage. But Sylvia assures me she's got buttons to sew on when they arrive at her end. This one is a pattern that I bought. This one's actually got a bit of poppy in it. As you can see, she stood on the wool, so I'm hoping Sylvia can wash that bit out. Not so noticeable there, but it's noticeable on the other side. She must have stood on the yarn, and while I was knitting, you know, watching the TV and that with the lower lighting, hadn't noticed. This one is a pattern that I did buy, but you can see the design, that I did buy from eBay, and it was Peter Pan double knitting, and it's P810. That's the pattern I used, and I bought mine off eBay. Yeah, this again was done in that quicker knit that's got like patches of slightly yellowed, because the top of the balls, I think she must have had them for a little while, were yellowed, but I just carried on knitting. So I'm hoping that they will wash out. I'm sure they will. So she can sort it all out when they arrive at her house. With the white that I had left over, I made some little hats. I found the pattern for these online. Can't remember where, they were on Ravelry somewhere. But as I don't knit my hats in the round, they've all got the seam, or as Z likes to call it, the San Andreas fault. But I'm sure the baby can lie on the back of that. That one was another one. Again, it's done in the white that's got the bits of yellowy bits showing on it. This was another. This wasn't online actually. I used the stitches of a pattern online, but I actually put the stitch of that other cardigan that I bought the pattern on. And this again was another little pattern that it was a free one online, but I did the colours. It was just a little, I had a little bit this turquoise left from the fingerless mittens, so I used that up. This is the last one that I've finished for her. This was a ball of, well, it's what, Super Soft, it's James C. Brett Super Soft in a pale peach, because in actual fact the pattern said it needed 200 grams. So I actually ordered another ball of it. It's James C. Brett's Super Soft Baby Double Knitting, and the colour is BB8, but I didn't actually need it. So that will be going into another little cardigan. This again is a pattern that I bought on eBay. It's, where are we now? It's that one. Peter Gregory double knitting pattern, 635. And the one I'm knitting at the moment for her is from another eBay pattern, because I can't find any, well, my patterns are all in storage, so that's the end of that, isn't it? It's another Peter Gregory, it's 653, that's the pattern I'm using now. And once again it's, oh no, this isn't, I tell a lie, this is one she sent me. It's Hayfield Baby Bonus double knitted in white. And I've knitted the back and two fronts. It's got a rather nice little edging, can you see, for the raglans. So that's what I'm knitting at the present minute. Yeah, why am I knitting? Well, I like knitting for babies. I think it looks nice. Crocheting is okay if you know the little baby is a little girl, but a lot of the patterns are geared more lacy fancy. And also, when I only got the baby yarn, I wanted more hours to keep me occupied, which knitting does, because knitting is much slower to me than crochet. So that's why I'm knitting. I couldn't find any of my knitting needles because again they're in storage. So I ordered some from Amazon and they are absolutely CRAP. They are shiny things and they are, it's my own fault for buying a cheap set. But I didn't want to splash out and buy, like, you know, the proper Aero or whatever, because I've got every size known to man in storage, so why waste my money? So these will go into, well, I've actually sort of made some friends online that have a knit and natter club when we can do it, because of this COVID, everything's locked down, everything's stopped. So I'll take them there when I find all my other stuff. I'll take them there and they can put them in their whatever box, you know, for people who haven't got any needles or forget the needles or learning to knit and haven't got anything. I'll put them in their box when I get around to it, because charity shops don't like to take them when they're open because they're classed as like a weapon. Maybe they'll take them in the US, but they don't over here. So they will be donated, and I can't wait to get rid of them because they are literally CRAP. Right, what have I got? I did order from the wool warehouse, which was a bit of a mistake really, not because of the wool, but because it took so long to get here. And I remembered that I used to order from Deramores instead. Oh, I've got something in my eye now. Purely because wool warehouse always took a lot longer to deliver. But I will excuse them at the moment because there is, oh gosh, I've still got something in my eye. All the deliveries are being delayed at the minute. As for ice yarns, I don't think I should be ordering from them again because of, you know, all this situation. I know they're not in the EU, but we're having to pay extra import duties, whatever. So I thought, no, in future I'll try my best to buy. Well, I can't say I'm buying British because half this yarn doesn't come from Britain anyway. But anyway, I'll show you what I've been buying. While I'm on the baby theme, I've got this lovely sort of turquoisey blue colour, Again, it's super soft baby double knit James C. Brett, and the colour is BB12. I don't know why they've got to have BBs in front, Baby Beautifuls, whatever. It's super soft. So I've got it in the turquoise. I've got the same yarn in pale blue. This one's colour BB5, same one in pale blue. These are all to make for the babies, or to make for babies, not particularly Sylvia's foster babies, but babies in general. That's a lovely pale green. I don't know whether you can see it or whether the window light is bleaching it out. That's BB1. It's difficult to know because I'm not used to the lighting in here. I'll have to get used to where I put them, the camera in the future. And that's the lovely lemon shade again, James C. Brett, and it's BB2. Yeah. I love this James C. Brett. It is beautifully soft if you get to work with it. It really is. It runs out. I think it's about $1.89 a ball, but then it's got the postage on top, hasn't it? So you can work out it's probably about £2, something like that, for a ball of wool if you order it online. You get it from your local wool shop. Oh, I made friends with a lovely lady, online of course, that has a wool shop here in Fleetwood. It's called the Wool Loft. And she normally has knit club nights, but of course the shop's closed because of COVID. And also, which is very interesting to me and my friend, is that she usually runs craft fairs. Thoughts for the future. One never knows. What I do like about Wool Warehouse is your yarn comes in these lovely organza bags. I say organza, and everybody always says it's organdy or something. I don't know, I call it organza anyway. So what I did order, ready for making some more maybe of the fingerless mittens, is Stylecraft Special Double Knitting, which everybody else knows and loves. And I got like a denim blue shade, which is 1302. I got a standard grey colour, because that's always useful, isn't it, for gloves and things. And that's shade 1099. It's just called grey. It's like a school grey, really. And I also got this plum shade, which is 1061, plum shade. These are all in Stylecraft Double Knit, which loads of other people absolutely love. I know Kim does, and I think Denise does, and everybody knows. Now this I got for a set. If you watch Z, which is Zelda NRJ3, she was doing a hat. Not her own pattern, she was following a video pattern for a lovely hat that looked like thick knitting. I did send the link to Sue in Scotland. She's fine, by the way. And, she sent her regards. And she's made a couple of them and said they're really nice and warm, they're so thick. So I got myself, because I've got a purple jacket when I can find it. So I got myself some deep, I think it's called Emperor. It's shade 1425. So I got myself a couple of balls of the chunky, because I didn't know whether one ball would actually make the hat or not. And I got a ball of Stylecraft Double Knitting in the same colour to make some fingerless mitts to go with it. Because I'm hoping that when it gets warmer I'll be able to wear fingerless mittens. At the moment, the one time I went out on the promenade, or whatever you want to call it, the seafront, I was frozen. You know, I'd feel the cold. I really do feel the cold. I was frozen. It took me ages to warm my feet up. Anyway, I've invested in some thermal socks to go inside my boots. I've got to go rummaging in my shoe box, because I'm sure I brought my winter boots as well. They're in there somewhere. And I invested in a pair of sheepskin mittens, which are very lovely and they're very gorgeous, and they've got leather on the outside, but when I bend my hands on the scooter I'm not really in control, so I tend to be a bit like Evel Knievel. I'm going zzz, you know. I nearly ran my son over the other day trying to get out of the garage, so he wasn't impressed. So he said, come here, it's them mittens you've got on. And I must admit, until they bend in a bit, which I know they will, because leather always batters in, doesn't it? That they'll, you know, they'll batter in a bit and then I'll be able to control my scooter a bit better. But they're lovely and warm. Oh, they are warm. So I'll put everything back in my organza bag. And then today, put the baby wool back in there. Today, I did order, because I ordered that pink because I thought it was going to run out. And I haven't, I still got some left. But I did order myself some pale grey. Once again in Starcraft Double Knit. Because at the moment, I think my sweaters got mixed up with the sweaters that I have for sale. We packed them all in those see-through boxes with lids. So I think by accident my son must have thought that my sweaters were part of kind of what I was selling, yeah? Or what I would be selling eventually. So I finished up, I've only got like 3 cardigans, and the one I finished off knitting just before I left, so I have 4 cardigans. And so, you know, I'm a bit, you know me, I like to swap and change, I like a bit of change, I like a bit of difference. So I've got the pale grey to just quickly crochet myself a cardigan. Not too lacy because I want to be, you know, warm, yeah. So, yeah, oh, I've got another pattern as well that I haven't actually used as yet. This is BHKC, which is British Hand Knitting Confederation Limited, and it's their number 5 pattern. I don't know whether you can see it because it's got a shine on it. Sort of like a twisted rib. The sweaters, there's V-neck, buttoned up cardigan, and a little sweater. I might actually do a V-neck for a change. Excuse me. Sylvia's preference is actually for button-up cardigans, but I thought, well, I'd give her a change. I'm using this as my knitting bag. It's a beautiful bag that I got given to me by my youngest niece's mother-in-law, yeah. It's a hobby gift. Oh dear. Excuse me, cough, cough. I brought this cough with me, by the way. I haven't got it since I got here. It's just called a hobby gift. And it's a very thick, lined bag, and it's so lovely. It just holds my work in that I'm working on at the moment. So, I think that's about it really. I've managed to find some things. The electrician is coming, I think I told you, next week. So once the electrician's been, then my would-be bedroom can be decorated while I wait for the fitted wardrobe man to come. But he's not coming till the end of March. So sort of March and April, it's going to be all systems go in this house. It's going to be people working everywhere. And it will finally, I think, be getting somewhere right. The garden's been drained and covered in pebbles. So if you ever saw my pictures, it was like a big sea of mud. It had never had drainage properly fitted, and there was no way we could put any sheds, machine shed, anything, up on such a wet base. So it's now all drying out beautifully, and so as soon as we get a lot more work done and the rain stops, we can start thinking about getting my she shed, and then I can get my stuff back from storage. Yay! And that will be another video, won't it? Sadly, of course, because of the lockdown, nobody can come to help me that would love to help me. Sue would love to come down, but she's stuck in Scotland, can't move. Oh, she did have an injection in her back the other day. They're allowing them in Scotland. As you know, they stopped mine over here. But here is a different health authority, so I might ask again and see whether it was just my local health authority where I lived before that wasn't doing them anymore. So maybe, you never know. My niece, of course, would love to come and help me, but she can't come either. She's head teacher, as you know, and she's on lockdown, so she can't come. And even my friend who lives sort of in Haitian, which is kind of not that far away, she's stuck again. She can't come because of the COVID restrictions. But the lockdown's supposed to end sometime at the beginning of March. The lockdown doesn't cover contractors, so we are allowed to have work done in the house. I mean, when they come to do the windows, I'll shut myself in the bedroom, because my would-be bedroom and my bedroom I am actually in at the moment is not having the windows changed, because they're big patio doors and they're fine. It's just the rest of the house that's got aluminium windows and they're a bit dodgy. So that will be where I will shut myself in there when the window man comes tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Because I am not sitting in here with no window. Even though my PC is in the corner, if you can see it. Oh yes, I've had my COVID injection, the first one. I had that AstraZeneca, whatever it is. No side effects whatsoever. I have felt a little bit more tired, but then again I feel a bit tired anyway. The cough is not from that, because I had the cough before I came. So I don't cough all the time, I just cough every now and again, and I have a little coughing fit. Have a little drink of water or a little drink of juice and it goes away. So I know it's not a symptom of COVID or anything like that. Apart from that, I've been keeping well. Still haven't got acclimatised to the sea air. Every time I go out the front door, my eyes stream. I cry all my way to the shop and everywhere. It's the salt in the air, I think, that's doing it. Poppy the dog is thoroughly enjoying herself. Absolutely adores running on the beach. Honestly, when she's on the beach, you wouldn't think she was what? I think she's about 11 or 12 now. You wouldn't think it. You'd think she was a pup when she runs around. I'm just looking out the window now. Everybody around here has a dog. Everybody seems to have a dog. And they are very well walked dogs. They are. If I go up on the seafront, which I've been a few times, but not often because it's cold, there's like, you wouldn't think there was COVID, you wouldn't think there was any lockdown, because we are allowed to take a constitutional once a day or whatever with the dog. And it's crowded with people. I mean, they're all socially distancing, you know, and the sea air, well, blow any germs away, it's that cold up there. But everybody has dogs, yeah, walking their dogs. And amazingly how many people have bicycles. You know, I don't know whether they're riding for pleasure or whether they're going somewhere, but they're certainly not. You get the different ones. You get the ones that idly say, you know, cycling along, just taking in the view. And then you get the ones that are going hell for leather, zipping in between everybody. I always think maybe they're on their way to work somewhere. Although, where? I haven't really been into Fleetwood itself, or Cleveless, because most of the shops I would like to browse. I mean, I wouldn't browse because of the COVID situation. I've been staying away from as many crowds as I can. I've not been shopping or anything much. But a lot of the shops will be closed anyway, so I didn't see much point. The family do the food shopping. They go sort of once a week, or they maybe just nip out to the local co-op if we run out of bread or something. But I've been letting them do all the shopping. Anything I've needed really that I can't buy locally, I've just been buying online. I've been Amazon's best friend. Yeah. And we have got a little visitor here that I don't like. We have got a little mouse. Only me sees it. It seems to dash about in the living room at night. So I'm not very happy about that. But hopefully once we've got all the work done and the electrician's been and different things, we can make up the hole in the floor where it's coming up from. And, you know, when we get the new carpet and that laid, you know, everything, hopefully the mouse will not have anywhere to pop his little head up. Yeah.